So welcome everyone. Before we get into our session, let's begin with a brief grounding exercise that helps us all to fully be in this space and connected with all our sense of safety and calmness. So this is a simple movement exercise that you can do wherever you are, whether you are sitting or standing. So just let's start by taking a deep breath together. Inhale deeply, fill your lungs with air, and exhale slowly from your mouth. And as you exhale, feel any tension leaving your body. So let's try again. Take deep inhale through your nose, and then exhale and release any tension that you may be holding in your body. One more time. Now gently place your hand, one hand on your abdomen, another one on your chest, on your heart. And as you breathe, feel your abdomen expand under your hand. As you breathe in, it'll expand. As you breathe out, feel it fall. The consciousness connection with your breath helps you to activate the ventral vagal system, which is associated with feeling calmness and safety. So just observe your hand going up and down as you breathe in and breathe out. Now let's add our shoulder roll. So on next exhale, inhale, lift your shoulders towards your ears and roll them back and forth. And then release and going back into normal state with your breath. Again, inhale, gently lift your shoulders, move them back and forth. And exhale. Finally, with your hands on your abdomen, gently close your eyes for a moment if you feel comfortable. And visualize a wave of relaxation starting from top of your head and flowing down to your feet. Imagine this wave bringing a sense of peace, presence into this moment. And now gently open your eyes if they are closed and take one more deep breath. And as you exhaled, bring your attention back into this place. So today we are going to go through legacy healing, creating a life after trauma and addiction. And so before we get into session, we'll just get into a little bit of understanding what are legacy burdens, the role trauma and addiction plays in shaping legacy burdens, and what is a legacy unburdening process. We'll get into that, and then we'll move towards healing and empowerment, preparing you for the session today, and then we'll get into the IFS, Somatic IFS session, and then follow with the sound healing to continue with the process. And then at the end of the hour, more or less, we will then open up for a live Q&A if you have any questions or individual needs or any feedback that you would mind. Okay, so let's get into a bit of understanding of legacy burdens. So legacy burdens are emotional patterns or behaviors inherited from our ancestors, basically from families, or sometimes they also come from your personal experience attached to those behaviors or patterns. So these burdens often feel like wheels, subtly influencing your choices or behavior throughout your life. I've worked with a lot of people with family history of grief, loss, and illnesses, and how this has impacted their own decisions about what they do as being part of the family, with themselves, with the children. And you can see them demonstrating the legacy burden into their day-to-day life. And the relational aspect or epigenetic is it's legacy burdens are not just relational, which is passed through family dynamics, but they are also epigenetics, which means they affect how our genes express into our body. And this sometimes contributes into manifestation of symptoms and illnesses related to the burdens. Uh, for example, repeated losses in a family, such as premature deaths, uh, has an aspect which can go into generations following. For example, people that have a specific form of cancer in a family member, and that has been across generations, also exemplify a legacy burden. So legacy burdens are inherited from our family line or adopted through families, are not necessarily from our personal life experiences, which means these are not things that have happened to you, but happen for you by through your legacies. And these burdens can be overt, which means directly experienced, basically father, mother, or grandparent, or covert, which can be indirectly influenced. So overt legacy burdens are the ones that arise from our direct experiences, but actually began in previous generation, but they are explicitly recognized and often linked to identifiable events or experiences in your immediate family history. For example, if I take my side of family, my father and all his brothers and my grandfather, they all had cardiac failures as a reason of death, all of them, and my grandmother as well. And so that's something that I have worked on myself because it was inherently there for me as an aspect that will come, which is cardiac failure for me. So it's a typically a legacy burden, but overt. Covert legacy burdens are understood mostly through family emotional processes and are not explicitly spoken about. They are more subtle, energetic occurrences within family dynamic. As an example, a covert burden could be unspoken rule within a family that is like showing anger is not acceptable, or men cannot be trusted, okay, which is a subtle message that is passed through generations, grandmother to mother and to you. Okay, so the introduction of this legacy burden explores how emotional patterns and behaviors are inherited through generations, which then subtly influence our life choices and behaviors. And these burdens, both overt from direct experiences and covert through unspoken family dynamics, profoundly shape our personal and familial narratives. Now, how does trauma play a role into this? So trauma leads to creation of burdens when we lack support system. That's how the burdens get formed, like secure attachment to the caregiver to help process against adverse events. So these unprocessed traumas can manifest as a belief that a bad thing happened to me, thus I am bad, okay? Typically, which then internalized into shame. For example, a child without adequate parental support may internalize feelings of worthiness after experiencing bullying and begin a cycle that can affect their descendants or their next generation. So, which means that if you have a trauma in this lifetime, you can start to create a legacy burden for the next lifetimes. But it's the same that could have happened to your ancestor as well. So legacy burdens are not just personal, but they are inherited from our family and adopted family lines, regardless of our direct experience. Okay. Uh, for example, the anxiety felt by a woman whose grandmother was secretly institutionalized for mental illness is an inherited legacy burden, shaping her and her family experience without a clear origin story. Now, burdens can be somatic, residing in body, passed down as physical symptoms. For example, people have stomach aches or stomach problems or anxiety issues. So these are apparently epigenetic research shows that trauma can influence how a gene expresses itself. Okay, and so you can exhibit the same fear without having been directly conditioned in this lifetime, as was felt by your mother or grandmother mostly, because it is covert. Uh, Secrecy and shame are primary mechanism through which legacy burdens are maintained and transmitted. The covert one, a family collective shame about an ancestor's actions can lead to secrets that create a heavy burden of unspoken guilt or shame in subsequent generation, as seen in families where stories of wartime experiences or in families where there are addictions that are suppressed. Now, identifying legacy burdens is something we will try and do as well, and something I send you a few questions about. It's a way to identify this when symptoms persist or return despite therapeutic efforts. Okay, one of the things my teacher used to say that if there is something, despite the therapy, despite something, if there is something which doesn't get solved, look for legacy burden. And this could be seen in families where patterns such as substance abuse or specific behavior has recurred across generation. And that's a good way to understand if there is a legacy burden that has been going on. So in summary, understanding the role of trauma and addiction in shaping legacy burden involves recognizing transmission of unresolved trauma from physical or epigenetic inheritance of these burdens, and then the role of secrecy or shame in perpetuating them. And identifying this pattern is very crucial for healing. And as it allows you, in case it's for you, to address not just because you had personal experience, but also because you inherited those burdens that influence your life. So let's get into the process, okay? How it is done. It's a 7-step process, but we will also practice it, okay? So it starts by awareness, okay? We will always start by centering ourselves, feel our heart. We'll ask you to put your hand on your heart. This allows your presence, or what we call self-energy, which is an energy that will allow you to hold and let a burden come in and then lead it towards wellness. So that's what we'll do. That's what we do in the beginning. Always we bring in a somatic energy, you bring in a safe place so that you feel you have that self energy, which is basically curiosity, compassion, confidence, courage to be able to do that. Then we get into the understanding of the burden itself, okay, and bring you to awareness of the weight you carry. One of the questions that will be asked is it yours, truly yours? Sometimes we also ask what percentage is yours? And it is also likely that you may have, let's say 90% of that is coming from legacy, but you may have 30%, which is as an effect of that into your current life. So we will use the current today's session to go through legacy burden, and you can do the 30% using classical session like you do in another part, and I will put it into the notes as well. So we identify, become aware of that inherited burden, and then what we do is we get into understanding the fears associated with that burden, because the reason it's a burden is because there is a fear. And that understanding of fear allows the system to say, well, okay, I can do something about it because I can work around the fear. One of the biggest things that we do is always ask permission. Okay? So willingness to release. Okay, there will be. It's very important to recognize that legacy burdens often feel lighter when they are acknowledged, because they may not have originated from your lifetime, but before the protector part of you allows it to be released, we have to ask the permission, because sometimes there are associated fears with that as well. Okay? So there's always going to be the aspect of asking not only fear but also permission. And I'm also going to ask permission from the ancestor. Okay, and sometimes it becomes very important to ask to the grandmother, are you okay to let go what you have been carrying, which could have come from your mother? And so it's always good to ask the permission, because then it allows in the next process, when the healing of the legacy burden happens, the more permission has been asked, the easier, because then the whole legacy or the ancestors are ready to go. What we also ask in this process is if there are any gifts, because grandparents or your lineage is not only bringing you burden, they are bringing you what I call heirlooms, which are gifts, and those gifts are yours to carry. So we are only addressing the burdens. The gifts will be kept and will be cherished by you. So that's part of the equation. And then we get into an imagining process of healing, okay, through the generations. And then the last part is to invite positive quality that may be lost because of what the burden, because the burden did not allow certain qualities to be inside of you. So we invite those qualities to come in and bring them into every cell of your body, and then the process is done. Okay, that's what we are going to do. Okay, here we go. So, and I know you're going to do it. Here we go. So let's go into your story, because now it's about you. You're here. So how do you identify what you're going to work on? Okay, so there are two things that you can think about, and then there's a very nice tip. That's what my teacher gave to me. Reflect and ask yourself about reaction to idea of carrying. But if there's something that you have been carrying that is beyond your lifetime, so it's something that was not created here. And is there a possibility that some of your challenges or patterns may have originated from past generations? So just go into that. And identify familial patterns. Consider who else in your family might have experienced the same symptom or pattern as you. Are there recurring themes or challenges within your family that you could also be grappling with? So just the tip is that if you always felt a particular anxiety, fear, or something that doesn't have a clear origin in your own life, or if you recognize a pattern that has been present in your family cross generation, it's worth exploring those symptoms as potential legacy burdens. So take a moment, think about it, and make one choice. Okay. So what I want you to do is just be in a comfortable position. You can lie down, you can sit straight as you want. And make sure your body feels relaxed and at ease. And you're always able to open your eyes, and if you want to take note, you're always able to do that. So see for the moment if you can gently close your eyes. And to begin, focus on your breath. Draw in slowly, deeply through your nose, filling your entire lungs. And then exhale through your mouth, letting go any tensions or worries. Let's do this a couple of times. And you're grounding your mind and body in the present moment. Now we are going to establish a safe anchor. So think of a place, a person, a memory that gives you sense of calm, safety, and well-being. A place, a person, or a memory that gives you a sense of calm, safety, and well-being. This is your safe anchor, a place you can return to whenever you feel the need for assurance or grounding throughout this process. By coming to your safe place, we are tapping into the vagal ventral system that brings us the feeling of safety and social connection. Now keep this safe anchor in mind. And gently shift your attention to the issue you chose to bring into the session related to the legacy burden. As you focus there, just observe any sensations that you feel in your body, around your body. If you see any images, and how you feel your emotions. Just focus there. So pay your attention to the issue and notice any sensations you feel in your body, around your body. If you see an image, and notice how you feel towards it. What kind of emotion you're getting. As your awareness deepens, just welcome this part of you that is carrying the burden. This can be an inner child, a protective part, or another aspect of you. Just gently acknowledge its presence and invite it into your safety of your safe space. Now see if you can move your attention to the physical sensation. Direct your mind and breath into the sensation. And just see if you can become curious as to what message, what all it carries. So just be curious towards it. While you may have sensation or feeling of sadness or anger or anything else, but see if you can become curious and compassionate toward this part of you that you feel in your body. Take a moment to be curious, to be compassionate. And from this place of curiosity and compassion, ask towards this to this sensation that you feel in your body, or if you see an image, you can do the same. Ask it saying, what is your intention for me? And notice what you hear. Most of the time you hear, I'm here to protect you from something. And see if you can just feel grateful towards it and extend your gratitude. Apart from curiosity and compassion, just thank you for being in my life, of trying to protect me. Then ask a question saying, what are you afraid will happen to me? Because it's protecting you from something. So ask a question. What are you afraid would happen to me? And let it explain its fears. And ask again. Think, what are you really, really afraid would happen to me? What is your biggest fear from me? And notice what you hear. Just remember to stay curious and compassionate. And now ask it if that energy that you absorb was from outside of you, like from a parent or an ancestor, or from a cultural source, or did it come from this life? See if what you hear. And you can also ask, what percentage did you absorb from the ancestor or from outside? Just to give you a percentage. And then ask, where did it come from? Is there someone? If so, from whom? So it'll give you from ancestor where you got this energy from, this burden from. To have this person name or the identification there. But first ask to this part of you, saying, ask it if it's ready to release this energy absorbed from legacy, and see if you hear what you hear. Would you like to release this energy that was absorbed from legacy? If there is some resistance, let it know that all the gifts from ancestors will continue to be present in your life, even after the unburdening of legacy burdens. And re-ask the question, is it okay to release this energy that you absorbed from legacy? If there is still resistance, ask it, what are you afraid would happen? And see if you can give a reasonable reply from a place of compassion. So if you got an answer positive to go ahead, then see if you can ask to the person from where you got it, the ancestor, connect to the ancestor and ask a question saying, is it okay to free you up from this burden? And see what you get as an answer. Notice that you stay compassionate. So if you got a positive answer, if there is a resistance, you can always ask, what are you afraid would happen? Because all your gifts will be kept, will be there. Now take the image of the person from whom you took the legacy, the one that said, this is where it comes from, and place that person just behind you. Put that image of the person just behind you. And ask this person, where did you get it from? And put the image of that person right behind him or her. And then sense all the past generations, known and unknown, behind them. Possibly all the way through horizons. So all the way through horizon, just visualize all the past generation, known and unknown. Sense them. And now imagine all the future generations. So if you have children, known, unknown, and place them right in front of you. Now think about a healing source of energy. It can be light, water, fire, earth. Choose one. Light, water, fire, earth as a healing source of energy. After you choose one, place this energy at the horizon, right behind the ancestors, just at the end of the ancestor line, just behind them. Now take a moment to collect all your legacy energy burden that you are carrying in your body. Find it and gather it. Collect the legacy energy from your future generation and add it onto your own. And now send this legacy energy out of your body into the image of the one behind you from where you got it. And have him or her add his or her own legacy energy to yours and pass it to the previous generation. And have them add their own energy and pass it through the generations, known and unknown, with each generation adding their own legacy energy and sending it all the way back into the healing source, the water, light, earth, fire, where it gets transformed into its highest good. So take a moment, take it out of yours, sending it to the one behind, ask them to add theirs, send behind, and so on, so until it reaches to the healing source. Take a moment to do that. Now invite back into yourself any qualities that you may have lost when you took on the legacy burden. So think about the quality that you may have lost due to the legacy burden. Maybe more than one. Just think about them. And let them fill in every cell of your body. And pass these qualities forward to the generations, future, known or unknown. Just pass them into the future generations, known and unknown, these qualities. And please send these qualities to the figure behind you and have him or her send it back through the generation. There is abundance for all. So have them all receive through the generations behind you the same qualities. Now thank your ancestors for being here in receiving and helping to release. And see if you can come back and connect to the sensation you started with in the beginning, the part of you that is holding the burden, and ask it if there is anything else that needs to happen for it to be completely relaxed. And note down what it tells you, if at all. You can let it know that you will revisit them and keep connecting to them every day as a follow-up. And thank all parts of you who came in today for their presence, for what they have done in your life, and how they would have transformed today, for their participation. And let them know that you will continue to visit them. And when that feels complete, you can start to come back, and we'll prepare for a shorter sound session. Take a moment. If you want to take notes, if you want to integrate, take a moment and we'll prepare for the sound session. Okay, so we are going to do the sound healing. So for those of you who are new today, so we use tuning forks to work on this biofield, which is like a torus all around it. The biofield holds wherever you have had experience in your life are actually held in your biofield as per the tuning forks as a sound healing system. So what we'll do is we will provoke or go through the using tuning forks, come into the field and find if there is any still remaining tension there. So classically, it comes in the form of age, so time, and some kind of emotion. So I will tell you. And all you do is just see if that makes sense to you. And if it does, just connect to it. And there's a very specific breathing to do. So the breath is, you take your breath in as if you're breathing through your head into your chest, breathing in. And then when you breathe out, you breathe out from your mouth forcefully, but you're breathing into your legs. So you kind of create this channel, because that's how the torus gets activated. Okay, so I will tell you breathe, and you breathe. Sometime when it's a very strong thing, I would also say, and I will feel it, you will hear me say, ah. So you release. Okay, it's always to release whatever comes out. So we will start with opening center below the feet, top of the head, and then I will run a tuning fork to see which chakra to work on today based on what you're bringing, what you want to heal. And then we'll start from the time of your conception, when you got created into this world, physically, till the present moment. So we'll go through the ages and wherever it comes up. I know we have short time, but we will do whatever we can do. Maybe we'll go 5 minutes overboard. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to switch off my video, but you will hear me. Okay, here we go. So we start below the feet, top of the head, and then into the field. Okay, here we go. So this is 174 hertz. I'm just going below your feet. Pointing the tuning fork toward your feet, so it points towards your backbone, so open this torus from below. Okay, take a breath. Okay, so I'm going to ground you. Take a breath. And I'm going to go to the top of the head to open a channel from the top. So pointing towards your head, to the backbone, to your feet, into Mother Earth. Take a breath. Okay, so now you're not going to hear anything. I'm running a pendulum from your feet to the top of the head, and it's going to tell me which center or chakra that we are asking to work. So it's pointing to the root chakra. Okay, left side. Okay, second center is okay, third is okay, fourth is okay, fifth is okay. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to work on the root chakra, the first center, so just at the base of your spine. And I'm going to change the tuning fork, so now it's 144 hertz. And I'm going to start on the left side because that's what you wanted to work on. This is the mother side, if you believe in that. So the emotion that's there is called unmet needs overall sense of security and relationship of being on earth and being part of a tribe. Okay, so we'll start with time of your conception. This is where we're going to start. And if something comes up, I will let you know as soon as I feel it. Here we go. So this is a different tuning fork. It's 144 hertz. So it helps to find and release. Okay, straight away. Oh, okay, so a lot of stress in the head. Oh, father energy, yeah? Very strong. Again. So this is at the time of your conception. So take a breath. And if it is discomforting, just do also, the release, like, that helps. Because rising from this chest to the head, so sadness with the pressure from father. So two things. Okay, stay with that. Take a breath and release, energy release. So the pressure from the father released. Now it's sadness in the heart. So see if you can send love to the little one that is just formed. Tell him or her, you're so wanted. That eased. Okay, so now it's about 4.5 months into pregnancy. You're in your mother's womb, half term. There's still a pang of sadness or grief. So just send, I think the only thing is coming to me is send love to the little one and to the mother. Because it may not be the babies, it may be the mothers. Keep sending. Yep. So now I'm at the birth. Just send love to the little one which is coming, to the mother, to all the nursing or the doctors, hospital staff, everybody. Just send them gratitude, love. And to yourself, the little one coming in. Just welcome it. Welcome the little one. Wow, there you go. Take a breath. It's about 5.5, something like that. Yeah, in the stomach now. So now it's a little one that's feeling it. Whatever it is, just breathe. Release. See if you can let the little one know that it is safe. Every time you connect to a little one or younger one, let it know you're safe or being on earth. So now it's about 15 and a half or 16-year-old. Yeah. 16-year-old teenager or height. Yeah. So unsafe. But somewhere else. Not in family. It's outside. See if you can send love. Take a breath. And just after, 18-year-old, same. He's feeling the same. More stronger. Take a breath. It's between unsafe, but also there's a huge pain in the chest, so loss of love. It's going between heart and the first center. So whatever you want to say to that younger one, in your own words, reassuring, let them know. Okay, that helped. Okay, so now we are in the mother field. So this is what your mother went through when she was young or in her earlier years. So her pain, her suffering. So just connect to that, and there's a lot in her root chakra, her sense of security, feeling safe. Send love to her. If it makes sense, send your sense of understanding for what she has gone through. Okay, so whatever we discovered, and we're going to release it out from your system. So take a breath. releasing it all out. Okay, here we go. Now we are just going to close. And let this process continue. Just going to close with the 528 hertz. As we gently close today's session, let's take a collective breath to honor our shared experience with legacy healing. Now envision yourself as a resilient tree, your roots anchored deep into Mother Earth, and each root representing the ancestral strength you carry, and each leaf symbolizing a step towards healing and renewal from your past burdens. Now visualize your roots intertwining with wisdom of generations before you, providing you with a stable foundation. And see your branches reaching out, tender new leaves unfurling, and each one a testament of your growth and the release of burdens not your own. Now, with gentle compassion, hold space for your story. Acknowledge that complexities of trauma are chapters of your history, but they are not entirely your story. Now, inhale deeply, drawing in trust and self-belief. And exhale, letting go any remnant of uncertainty or inherited pain. And when you feel ready, gently open your eyes, coming back to engage with the world with new understanding and strength. I'm really grateful for your vulnerability and bravery today. And let's continue this path together. Thank you for being here.